Welcome to RAIN, the Real Estate Investor Growth Network with your hostess, Jen Josie. Join like-minded real estate investors and accelerate your business towards greatness. You will hear step-by-step strategies for success, interviews with real estate rock stars, and we will dig deep into past projects where we bear it all, including the good, the bad, and some just plain ugly. So get excited. Here's the bestower of badassery herself, the real Jen Josie. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, and welcome back. I'm Jen Josie, creator of RAIN, the Real Estate Investor Growth Network. Whoop, whoop. Today's episode is short and sweet, where I lay down some serious content with step-by-step strategies for success. But before we begin, here's today's badassery bestowment, my little badass gift to you. Today's topic is protect yourself. I have probably said this one before, but it is absolutely worth repeating. If you are thinking about investing in rental properties, you should use an LLC to purchase them. An LLC, or limited liability company, can help you with risk management. The LLC has ownership over the properties. This means that if anything should happen on those properties, you are not held personally responsible. If you currently own some rental properties in your personal name, find an attorney today and get those properties moved to an LLC. Now, on to today's episode of the Real Estate Investor Growth Network podcast. I will be reading one of my past blogs, and this one is titled 9 Steps Needed to Declare Repairs. Right after I graduated college and moved back home, I suckered this poor manager to hire me as a server at Applebee's while I was waiting for a teaching gig to open up. I have never waited tables before, and I thought, really, how hard could it be? I was quite familiar with the food menu because I frequented the Applebee's near my college. I immediately discovered that I had zero education in alcoholic beverages. Now, I'm sure you find this hard to believe from all my social media posts wearing my day drinker trucker hat or this be me drinking shirt. But there was a dark time in my life when I thought all wine was made by Boone's Farm and that all beer should taste like Bud Light. #shameful. I remember my first night when I was shadowing an experienced Apple buddy. A couple had asked what our driest red wine was. What? Then later, someone asked if we had any IPAs. I thought, that sounds fancy. They must want a Zima. Boy, was I wrong. During my short 3-month stint as a server, I became the annoying Apple by bugging other servers to help me with my drink orders. I ended up at the library and found a book on wines. Then I started tasting different beers and expanded my taste buds past just the king of beer. The more I practiced, the easier it got, just in time for my resume to be accepted at my first professional teaching job. Now, I am completely grateful for this experience because it taught me not only to tip my servers well, but I learned that practice makes almost perfect. The same is true when I learned to evaluate repairs needed for prospective flips. Number 1, desktop evaluation. Before you ever set foot in a property, you need to do a desktop evaluation. This is where you want to learn as much as you can about the property. You can go to the tax records on your county website to find out the square footage, beds, baths, lot size, year built, the owner's name, how much they paid for, and when they bought it. Those last 3 items will help you to determine their emotional and financial attachment to the house. If you see the deed changed owners, but they all have the same last name, this may be a probate situation where someone passed away and left the property to a son or daughter. If they have owned the property for 30 plus years, then there may be an opportunity for updating. If they bought it 10 years ago for $300,000, then you can guesstimate that they have paid a large chunk of that down, unless, of course, they have refinanced or have a HELOC. Number 2, pull comps. Once you have the square footage, beds, baths, year built, and lot size, you can start pulling comps. Comps are the recent comparable sales in the last 6 months that are located within a mile of the property. You want comps that have the same beds and baths, built around the same time, with the approximate same lot size and square footage. If the property was built in 1975, you cannot compare that to a new build. You also cannot use active or contingent properties as comps, only sold properties. When you have 3 or 4 good comps, you will use the sale price to determine the price per square foot for each. If you do not have access to the MLS, you can pull comps on Realtor.com, Redfin, and Zillow. I actually like the search tool on Zillow. However, their Zestimates can suck it. I type in the address of the property I'm evaluating and then click over to the map feature. I change the search from for sale to sold properties, and once I zoom in enough, boom, there are my comps. I also like this map feature because I can see if there are any unicorns in that neighborhood that sold for way more or way less. Number 3, determine after repair value. Once you have your list of comps and price per square foot, check the listing photos to familiarize yourself with the interiors. See what trends are going on in that neighborhood as far as open floor plans, popcorn ceilings, wood paneling, kitchen updates, etc. If one of your comps has been updated, you will be using that price per square foot to determine the ARV for your possible flip. By seeing interior photos of the comps, it will help you to determine what repairs you will need for your property. Probably, even more importantly, you will see what repairs or updates you don't need to do. You never want to over-renovate. Number 4, check out the hood. As you are driving to the property to do your evaluation, you need to take time to check out the rest of the neighborhood. Are all the lawns well maintained? Are there kids' toys or bikes in the yards of every other house? Do they have chain link fences? Are there other homes being renovated in the neighborhood? You need to pay attention to what's expected of the homeowners to help you determine what repairs will be necessary. If all of the houses have gravel driveways, then there's no need to pay for a concrete parking pad. If all the houses have a one-car garage and your property only has a carport, you may need to add a garage to your repair estimator. Number 5, don't annoy your contractor friends. When my husband Vance and I started out in real estate, our coach told us we would be determining the repairs needed when evaluating properties. I was like, does this guy even know who he's talking to? If something breaks in our house, duct tape was our only solution. During the first few weeks, we bugged our dear friend Richard the electrician to accompany us to our appointments to do a more educated evaluation. This happened about 3 or 4 times, and then he stopped answering our calls. Listen, do not annoy all the current contractors in your life. They do not work for free, people. You only call them to do bids and then pay them their much-deserved labor costs to do the job. When you evaluate properties for possible repairs needed, you must learn to take on this responsibility yourself. It will not only build your confidence, but it will save you money in the long run. Number 6, repair estimator. If you have invested in a proper education, the superior programs should provide several tools, including a repair estimator. If you have not joined an education program, you should ask the Google for a downloadable version. It may cost a little, but having a good repair estimator is vital so you don't miss any big ticket items. A standard repair estimator will cover everything from the exterior to the mechanicals and provide an estimated cost for labor and materials. It will tell you specifically how to measure certain items either by linear feet, square feet, lump sum, etc. Most are in Excel format, so the calculations can be done on the spot with a tablet or laptop. Number 7, walk the property. We like to start on the exterior and make a complete circle around the property. I'm looking for cracks in the foundation, windows, wood rot, windows, gutters, windows, roof, windows, deck, and landscaping. Did I mention windows? Since I forget to count windows all the damn time, I have gotten into a habit of taking a photo of each side of the property so I can reference it later. And on that note, don't take videos. Take photos so you can zoom in on a problem area and share it with a contractor for bids. It's a much smaller file to share than a video. When I have completed my lap around the exterior, I enter the front door and walk through the house. If the homeowner is there, ask permission to take photos. We look for water stains, broken fixtures, check the outlets if they are 2 prongs or 3, check if there are hardwoods under the carpet, and more. I like to walk the perimeter of the rooms to feel for any possible foundation issues. Besides counting windows, when the repair estimator is in your hand, you will miss fewer items. Also, take this time to determine if you will make any floor plan changes to increase the value of the home. If it's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house and all the comps have 2 baths, you may want to find a space where you can add that second bathroom. Number 8, contingency. Once you have completed your walkthrough and added all the items to the repair estimator, the most important line item is the contingency. This will provide a buffer for any unforeseen expenses during the renovation. If you are less experienced, I would add at least 20% of the repair costs. If you're experienced, we still do a minimum of 10% contingency. If we are working with a 100-year-old home, we do a minimum of 20 for all the unknowns hidden in the walls. Having that extra buffer in place has saved our profits from going in the dumps. Lastly, number 9, professional inspectors. When you get a property under contract, it is so important to do your due diligence and hire a professional inspector. That inspector will get on the roof and belly crawl under the house to find any items you may have missed. If they uncover a few additional repairs needed, you can see if your contingency will cover the cost or if you need to go back to the seller and renegotiate the purchase price. With the use of good research, proper tools, and the right professionals, you should have no problem declaring the repairing on your next project. It only gets easier with practice. It's been 25 plus years since my experience of being a server at Applebee's, and I'm happy to report that now I know my way around a drink menu. Come on now, practice makes perfect. Cheers. That is all. Thank you for listening, and we will catch you on the next episode. Now go out there and share your badassery. And don't forget, make it a great day. Take care. Bye-bye. Whoop whoop!
Thank you for listening to RAIN, the Real Estate Investor Growth Network. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. If you need more badassery, you can follow Jen Josie by visiting therealjenjosie.com or become a member of RAIN by registering on rainmastermind.com.